Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and before I go too much further, I want to thank everyone for being patient with me. As of late, my mental health problems have been a real pain and have been kind of eating into even the recordings and the time that I spend working on the channel. So again, I appreciate everyone for being patient with me, even as I know that it's been affecting my work here. I have started seeing a therapist regularly, and good morning, birds. Here they are, there's my sweeties. And hopefully that will start to help things out. I also do want to just take a moment to say that doing work on the channel, making videos and stuff like that, that helps me out quite a bit, as it's an outlet for me to do something creative and express myself, and it does actually help my mental health problems quite a bit, just having the channel here to work on and allowing it to be kind of a creative outlet for me. It's a big deal for me, and I appreciate you guys for being supportive and willing to come in and just listen to me, like, just talk about stupid shit while I play a video game. It makes a lot of difference to me. It means the world to me, and that's part of the reason why I want to see the channel grow, because honestly, I would kind of like to just be doing this full time. But enough said there, guys. Thank you very much. It really does mean a lot to me to have your support and to have you guys continue watching and commenting on my videos. I love the back and forth, the conversations, just all of it is very meaningful for me, and I just want to make sure you guys know that before I continue. Now then, we are going to be moving on to today's run, which obviously, if the title didn't give it away, today is the Wizard of Metal episode that should have been on Monday, but I was out seeking help on Monday, to be honest. But today we are going to be taking the form of Gunman by Orden Ogan, and this is one that I've been personally kind of excited for because I love this band, and I've been very interested in talking about them because, frankly, I wanted to know more about them. So, let's give a quick overview of the run and how I came to my decisions. So, the song Gunman is actually very much about... It's very much what it seems like. It's just a song about a gunman. But it's the story behind the song that I think is more interesting. So, what the entire album, again, Gunman, this time plural, is all about is it's kind of them going on kind of a dark fantasy western route with the album. So the song Gunman is about a gunman essentially taking vengeance. So I figure by that token we've got a bunch we're going to go on a projectile run, and we have a bunch of things that are kind of acting like, you know, old western revolvers and six-shooters. So nothing that's necessarily going to act like a machine gun in our arsenal, but we've got Stone Shot, which, once it's enhanced, will basically be like the old-timey speed shooters who kind of hold the gun with one hand and rest their palm over the hammers, and they just go bam, 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 bam. If that makes sense. It's dark fantasy, so I don't think there's a problem with Chaotic Rift. This is just one kind of big explodey shot, and this is essentially channeling dark energy through our revolver to really wreak some havoc. And then, because we're gunmen, we have to be wearing good gloves in order to be able to handle our weapons properly, right? And then Venture Robe, just because, again, if we're going to be like, you know, if we're going to be all dark and mysterious and I don't want to say broody, but you get the idea. So that now brings up the idea of who are Orden Ogan? For that matter, what the hell does that word even mean? Or rather, that pair of words. Well, let's start by explaining... Thanks, controller, that's exactly what I wanted. Here's Nocturne. So, we'll get the easy part out of the way first. Orden Ogan is a German power metal band. And some of you may immediately be going, hey, isn't Blind Guardian a German power metal band? Unbeknownst to me, apparently being a power metal band from Germany is kind of a thing. Who knew? There we go. Yeah, I love it. Alright, we're doing pretty well so far. Yeah, baby. I've made no secret about the idea that I very much dig Fractal Flare. Oh, hello. What do we have here? So, Chaos Visor looks interesting to me because it'll raise the critical hit rate of my projectile arcana. You're a gunman, so of course we have a lot of projectiles to work with. I also like Jade's Chakra Locket. Just a little extra armor to go along with the idea that... Well, to go along with the idea of regenerating health every time I pick up a Chaos Gem. That's what I was going to say. But back to Orden Ogan. What... As I said, German power metal bands. That's all well and good. What I didn't realize is how long they had been around. Apparently, Orden Ogan has been at the... Oh, we're going to upgrade. Iris is being helpful? Something isn't right here. Has the world just descended into flame? I mean, I guess between that and the saxophone music, I'm just going to take that as a win and move forward. But seriously, Iris being helpful? This is a whole new day. There we go. I mean, it's useful for right now. And there we go. So, now let me actually continue now. So, I had to look up what Orden Ogan means, because I figured, okay, this is some German phrase that I know nothing about. Turns out it's not entirely German. So the word Orden means order. Oh, there's the mimic. Oh, baby. Okay. Focus, damn it, focus. But, okay, so the word Orden means order, and that is a German word. What I what I wasn't prepared for is the idea that the word Ogan actually isn't a German word. It is an old Celtic word that essentially means fear. So, what we have is a band that calls themselves Order of Fear. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of you going, well, it's a pretty edgelordy name, but does that even make any sense? Well, actually, yes. So, think back to what I said about the album that the song Gunman comes from, which is, plural. Oh my god, go away, thank you. The idea of it being dark fantasy should immediately kind of pop some ideas into your head. And obviously this is far from their first album, because another thing that I didn't know is that at least the members of the band have been around doing work with power metal music since 1996. So this is another band, much like Blind Guardian, that's been around for a very long time, very much without my knowledge. There we go. Now, the band themselves don't really consider their history to have begun until the year 2008. Actually, I think it's 2007. Let me look it up. Oh no, I was right. The band considers its history to begin in 2008 with the release of their first studio album, Veil, which was released via Yona Records in Germany and met with acclaim by the European press. I can justify that. Veil is a pretty damn good album. According to the German magazine, Rock Hard magazine, they called the band the one and only legitimate Blind Guardian successor. Now, I wanted to take a moment to look at Veil because there's something else there that's very interesting about Veil, and that is that it's the first appearance of what is essentially the band's mascot, so to speak, which is the dark figure in the top hat, which they named Alistair Vale. Now, I've seen that figure on their album covers and just figured, okay, this is just something that they do just because it's, fun or goofy, and you could still look at it that way, sure, but they look at it as more of a, this is kind of a representation of our band and our music. And that kind of goes a long way to kind of like towards the band's identity. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was actually thinking about starting the run with the Magician's Top Hat, just to kind of go along with the whole Alistair Vale thing, but I think I'll do that the next time an Orden Ogan song comes up from Visor of Metal. Here we go. Sorry, I had a bit of a mind blank there. That was interesting. But what? But now let's go over some of their history. Like I said, they were technically founded in 1996, more specifically June 1996, and I have no idea how to pronounce this, but they were founded under the name of, like I said, I'm gonna butcher this, but it's Tanzande Angwade, I think. But they renamed themselves to Orden Ogan in 1997. So there you go. So now let's take a moment to talk about why I think the name Orden Ogan is very appropriate. And that is because a lot of their songs actually have some very play around with some of the darker elements that go along with that identity. Alright, so we've got another freebie to feed Here we go. So now we're going to go ahead and feed the Mimic. But there are some things we are not feeding the Mimic. Like that. Also, what caused that to go flying? Anyone have any idea? But like I said, the song Gunman in and of itself is essentially about it's about a lone gunman taking vengeance on, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be someone or like an entire entity of things that they're taking vengeance on. But then if you look at the other songs on the album, one of them is about a vampire in a ghost town that's like, honestly, listening to the song, it reminds me of the opening of Vampire Hunter D, where it's just vampire comes in and everything goes south. Sorry, don't want. But then there's a song off of their other album, Ravenhead, which, it's the self-titled track, so Ravenhead. And that's essentially a song about this dark being that promises people a better life. And then once it gets them behind the doors of the titular Ravenhead, which reminds me of like an old-timey abandoned psych ward, is at least what it seems like. Then it's just, oh, haha, your soul belongs to me now. And it's just using it for, the things you would expect, like a dark being like a lich to use someone's souls for. Anything over here that's very Gunman-like? No, but I'm interested in Title Blast. Ooh, but I'm also interested in that. Damage, run speed, so those would all be boosted by another 5%. Ow. Okay, I am getting my ass kicked by fighting in a very suboptimal environment. Oh, I'm sorry, you wanted me to solve the puzzle? Sorry, I'm just gonna put an end to this early. I like the idea of the heavy travel jacket. So many things here I like. Oh, and there's no way I'm gonna have enough money for all of it. So the idea of the whole Order of Fear thing, it makes a lot of sense to me. I really like it. Well, mostly because after listening to a lot of their songs and understanding what exactly they mean by Order of Fear, it really puts the whole dark fantasy thing into context, and I really like it. Well, as for the song Gunman itself, so at this point we should be rather used to the idea that a lot of the songs that have come up on Wizard of Metal have had a lot of subtext to their lyrics and a lot of... Did he just dash 3 times? Since when was he able to do that? Like, am I just an idiot and I misinterpreted what he was doing? Oh, I'd love to be able to just take that and sell it off. Alright, so I think that's going to be one of our more important pickups. Let's see if... I'm sorry, Iris, but I gotta smash your stuff to see if I can find some more coins. Damn. But the Gunman song in and of itself is not one of those things where it's like, oh, what is the hidden subtext behind the lyrics here? Actually, Gunman is a very straightforward song. Like, there's it's seriously a very direct meaning, because what Orden Ogan is doing with the song is they are not necessarily like going into like any crazy subtext. They're not like using the song as a means of decanting their feelings or describing some abstract concept. They're using the song to tell a story, and I'm a little sad that I have to leave behind the robe upgrade and the heavy travel jacket, but we're just gonna have to make it work. No, the song Gunman is actually very much just about a gunman. So we're gonna go over the lyrics now together, and for those of you who are just joining me or don't remember, I tend to read the lyrics very deadpan because I don't necessarily want to force the song into your head. I want you to hear and understand the lyrics for what they are, and derive your own meaning from them. And then hopefully it'll give you God, I suck. Well, I mean, that's not really gonna help. As much as I like Bolt Rail, I have to leave it because it's not my 6th shooter. Yeah, the idea is I read the lyrics just very matter-of-factly and deadpan to let you draw your own meaning from it, to try to understand the lyrics just for themselves, and then hopefully that'll give you some interest in going to check out the song for yourself, which I sincerely hope you have been going to check out some of these songs for yourselves. Like, even if you're not necessarily like super into metal, like hopefully it's been at least at least of enough interest that you're willing to go out and at least give some of these songs a shot. Just check them out and see, is this something that I would be interested in trying out. And again, I understand that metal isn't necessarily everyone's bag, but if you are going and checking out these songs just based off of the Wizard of Metal episodes, I appreciate that. And I hope that you continue to, broaden your horizons a little bit. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the lyrics as soon as I know that I'm not going to die trying to read them. So, the song begins with instrumentals, of course, but then it goes, "The toll of the warning bell, my boots sink in bullet shells. I have become an outlaw, nightmare of the damned." So that immediately gives you the idea that this person is kind of, or person, entity, whatever you want to call it, has dubbed themselves kind of like, they're already dubbing themselves a spirit of vengeance. They're going after what they call the damned. Now, something isn't necessarily damned unless it's done something bad, or, you're just being really edgelordy, like, oh no, you're so damned. So take that for what it's worth. Wind Flurry or Deferred Dynamo would both be good. Definitely projectiles, that's for sure. I think Deferred Dynamo would be the better choice. Mostly because of the enemies that we have coming up. But I also want to see what relics are going to be available. Here we go. This is Bounty Hunter Seal. That'll be good for developing riches. And I love the Stygian Turtle Shell, but I also kind of want to take an Arcana. Let me think about that one while I read the next part of the lyrics. Next part. "The hangman left the scaffold. I took him out still blindfold. I made this place a ghost town, painted the lanes red." So, very, very much the spirit of vengeance has decided, you know what, fuck all y'all. You're gonna try to put me down? Let's see how well that works for you. It also makes me think that whoever this person was in the song that's being put up on the scaffold and, to be hung, that they've been falsely accused of that. Or at least they were. Obviously, they've gone on to just murder a bunch of witches afterwards. There we go. 295. I think, in this case, it's better to have a slightly better defense. So we're taking the Turtle Shell. Now we have to remember to land the finishing blow with Tidal Blast. Before I do that, let's move on to... We have the refrain before the chorus. The refrain being, "I'll find you, I'll hunt you down, I'll be your final nightmare." So, nice and dark there. Chorus. "I am the gunman, I bring salvation on this day. Here comes the gunman, you know that vengeance is my name." So now we very much have the idea that, this is a person or an entity taking matters into their own hands and being a spirit of vengeance. Ah, damn it. I mistimed it. I'll probably end up dropping Cascading Blitz for something else. Alright, well that was a screw-up on my behalf. I essentially went a little bit too far with the stone shots. And that kind of screwed up my grand plan there. Alright, well, that disappointment aside, moving on with the lyrics. Next part. When the shadows hide at high noon, I kneel down by her tombstone, and from the earth she'll arise to pass her sight to you. Zombie wife. You will beg for forgiveness, I'll make you plead and confess, find absolution with a bullet in your head. Okay, so someone lost the love of their life, which actually puts a song later in the album into greater context as well. So nothing here, and there's nothing. I don't think lasers are necessarily the way to go, because, you know, if we're going to be old-timey gunmen, then, you know, lasers aren't really very befitting. Yeah. Really no reason to even debate that one. Yeah, that's just in case, because you guys are pissing me off. So there it goes into the refrain and the chorus again. And actually, that's about all of the lyrics, so I'll once again repeat those lyrics in case you forgot. I'll find you, I'll hunt you down, I'll be your final nightmare. I am the gunman, I bring salvation on this day. Here comes the gunman, you know that vengeance is my name. And then it goes into a really good solo, and then the end of the song where it repeats the refrain, then the chorus twice, and that's it, that's the song. I thought you were dead. Go away. So, unlike some of the other songs that we've listened to, where there's been a lot of potential hidden subtext and different ways to interpret the song, this song is very straightforward. It's just it's a story instead of anything else. And, you know, I actually rather like that. The idea that they wanted to use their music to tell a story is really interesting. In this case, it's a dark fantasy story about some person or thing getting vengeance for their fallen lover. And I think that's really cool. Not the fallen lover part, of course, but the idea of using the song to tell a story instead of trying to develop something with like hidden subtext. Now, that might not necessarily be for you, and I get that, but I like the idea of using music to tell a story. Oh hey, I get to be Alistair Vale after all. Haha! Alright, could probably stand a bit of a health recharge. I don't think there's anything here that's really all that useful. Maybe the Token of Doom. Just to make sure that we have every opportunity to get something good. So yeah, I'll take the Token of Doom. Let's risk it for the biscuit. Alright, that was stressful. And yeah, let's not take too many chances, let's just heal up. So, now my thoughts on Orden Ogan. They are freaking fantastic. Now, I've gone on record as saying that I very much like it when bands are more melodic than just, you know, being heavy just for the sake of being heavy. And Orden Ogan does the melodic metal thing in spades, and I think they're very good at it. What do we have here? So Mercenary's Dagger is probably worth taking, but I'm going to wait until the end of the floor to see how much money I end up spending on things. Hello, Armor of Resolve. Now, because they've been around for so long, they've done work with a lot of different other acts. Like, hold on, let me find something real quick here. Oh, and for those of you who are interested, they actually originated in Arnsberg, North Rhine-Westphalia, Germany. So the city is Arnsberg. I imagine North Rhine-Westphalia is like what we would call a county here in the States. And another thing about them is that they are the organizers of the German metal festival Winternachtstraum, and has featured a lot of really interesting bands like Rage, Sinister, and another one that's actually on our Wizard of Metal list right now, Von Kanto. But they've played a lot of shows, supported a lot of bands. Like they've done a lot of they have a lot of albums out too. They're of the albums that are actually on there by their name and not before they became Orden Ogan. There's Veil, of course. And then there's To the End. Oh no, Easton Hope, To the End. Ravenhead, then Gunman, and then the album that actually came out just earlier this year, Final Days. Which, if you want to hear a good song to really hammer home the idea of them being called Order of Fear, there's two songs I can think of. There's nothing here that really does, Gunman stuff. Well, this actually. Pardon me. I'll have to think about those. Go away, thank you. But, sorry, I got distracted. But yeah, to repeat what I said earlier, because I got distracted, if you really want to know, if you really want a good metric as to why they call themselves Order of Fear, the song, and I think I put this one up on Wizard of Metal. If I haven't, I should. But yeah, check it. Hello, Amulet of Sundering. Hey, I'm a spirit of vengeance. Screw defense. Give me more ways to hurt people. Yeah, check out the songs In the Heart of the AI and It Is Over. Those are very, very dark and scary songs. Like, they really lean into that whole fear. I'm looking at the map and I can't figure out why I'm only at 85% cleared. Where's the other 15%? What am I missing? And part of what I'm missing is the boss room. Talk about fear. I don't even know if I can complete the level. Help! I'm also going in circles, so it's Groundhog's Day. Oh, creepy! It actually looked like it was just a dead end because I had come into the room the non-traditional way. Like, both of those songs that I just listed off are off the album Final Days, which that album, in comparison to Gunman, is taking it into more of a sci-fi direction. As an example, a song like In the Dawn of the AI, obviously. But then there's also a track on there called The Heart of the Android. Do you count as a projectile? Oh, you do. There we go. Go with that. I like like that idea. Beautiful. I love it. Alright, we got anything good here? Curse Eater's Mask, that's good. Ended up not taking Mercenary's Dagger just because I was a little worried about my funds. And yeah, we're looking pretty solid. Although I am going to do that because I'm trying to be Alistair Vale here. Come on, people. Yay, complete whiff. I am an expert marksman, don't you know? To which the only proper answer is, no, I don't know. Neither do you. Oh, I'm dumb. I'm really dumb. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, I highly recommend if you're kind of on the fence about metal music, or you're like, I don't know, all I've ever heard is bands that just go all the time. No, Orden Ogan and Nightwish, and also Delane, for those of you who aren't aware of who they are, they're all bands who do things very differently from that vein. And I highly recommend checking out any of them. Because, like I said, metal music isn't just about play fast and heavy for the sake of being fast and heavy. It can be music. Like actual quality music, just using different instruments than you're used to. But first, yeah, we have to get past this, oh, it's just people screaming and growling all the time idea. Because there is so much more to the story than that, and a good way for me to recommend you kind of understand what I'm talking about is try out Orden Ogan, a band who literally just uses their songs for storytelling. I think that's a good way to do things personally, but obviously I always abdicate, to each their own, so I'm not saying that if you don't like metal music, you're wrong! I'm just saying, give it a shot. Maybe this is the sort of thing that you need to really break through, and even if you still don't like it, maybe it'll at least help reach an understanding. And at the end of the day, that's what we really need, is more understanding. And that's not just of metal music, that's just of each other in general. We need more understanding. Communication, understanding, and all of that, that's all a two-way street. It's not just, well, I'm going to try to understand you, but you don't have to understand me. You can keep kicking me while I'm down. Not how it works. But I'll save that discussion for another video. Again, thank you guys very much for your help and support. Drop me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. The new Wizard of Metal poll is up and running. I actually put that up just a couple of days ago, so vote for the next song you want to hear me talk about. There's always something that I'm just chomping at the bit to talk about, and even though I didn't say much about Gunman because I kept getting distracted and, trying my best not to die, I was really excited to talk about this song and Orden Ogan in general, and I still look forward to talking about the band in greater detail at another juncture. But I'm rambling at this point, so I'll just say thank you guys very much. Hit up my poll and social medias, which are in the description below, and I will catch you next time. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you.